The news at 4. First, the highlights. Lagos State government removes 1,141 contraventions in 1 year to restore drainage right of way. House of Representatives caucus backs concessioning of Enugu Airport. On the 14th, Russian president announces 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine from May 8. And in sports, IBB Golf Club unveils interim management committee. Now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State government has removed not less than 1,141 contraventions in the last year to restore drainage rights of ways across the state as part of its commitment to ensure a flood-free Lagos. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, made this known at the year 2025 ministerial press briefing organized as part of activities to mark Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's 6th anniversary. Wahab stated that construction work is ongoing to deflood the entire Lagos Island with areas like Oroyiyi, Idumagu, Binuyo, Aroloya, Ekpe, and Ojogiwa, among others. The commissioner stated that Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA, also undertook compliance enforcement actions against non-environmentally compliant facilities, with a total of 872 complaints received, with 610 of them noise-related complaints. He said 129 of the cases were abated, while 320 cases were treated with appreciation letters coming from the complainants, with 26 of the reported cases still under investigation. Wahab said the government, through the Lagos State Wastewater Management Office, LASWAMO, in a bid to accelerate progress towards Sustainable Development Goal 6, intensified enforcement efforts to combat illegal wastewater discharge and mismanagement in the state. In a vibrant display of public-private partnership, the Simisola Alabi Foundation, in collaboration with the Lagos State government, has organized a far-reaching medical outreach program in the heart of Obalende, Lagos Island, bringing hope, healthcare, and nutrition to hundreds of mothers and children under the banner Healthy Mothers, Thriving Children. The initiative, tailored to address maternal health, child nutrition, and the burden of stunting, attracted an enthusiastic crowd as free medical checks, insurance registration, food packs, menstrual care packages, and educational talks filled the community center with life-changing activities. Special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Health, Kemi Oguyemi, who was on ground to support the outreach, seized the opportunity to sensitize mothers on the dangers of patronizing untrained traditional birth attendants, emphasizing the government's commitment to affordable and accessible healthcare through health insurance. She noted that the outreach also offered a critical platform to raise awareness about other public health concerns. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kudirat Kekereekun, has raised concern over the 112 electricity-related deaths and 95 injuries recorded in the Nigerian electricity supply industry in 2024. Kekereekun made this known while delivering a keynote address at the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission 2025 seminar for judicial officers in Abuja. She urged the judiciary to enforce industry safety regulations firmly, stressing the need for courts to hold operators accountable for violations that compromise public safety. The seminar themed Navigating the Dynamics of Nigeria's Evolving Electricity Sector brought together key stakeholders to address emerging challenges in the power industry. Now to the rest of the stories. The Enugu caucus in the House of Representatives has thrown its weight behind the federal government's plan to concession the Akan Usen International Airport in Enugu, describing it as a potential catalyst for the southeast economy. The caucus commended the federal government for the initiative and urged it to hasten the process to enable the people of the southeast and the nation benefit from it in earnest. It also called on the people of the region to support the concessioning as the only way to guarantee sustainable investment to fully develop the airport into a truly international facility. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAM, has responded to criticisms by a former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, over the early resumption time for its Unified Tertiary Matriculation examination. Obi had, in a post on X, decried reports of candidates, mostly teenagers, being asked to travel to examination centres as early as 6:30 a.m. despite security concerns. He described the situation as reckless, citing incidents of accidents and missing candidates, and blamed it on what he called Nigeria's inadequate investment in education. According to Obi, setting exams for vulnerable teenagers at such early hours was endangering lives and exposing deeper systemic failures in the country's education sector. Reacting, JAM clarified that while candidates are expected to arrive by 6:30 a.m. for verification and clearance, the examinations officially begin at 8 a.m. The board explained that the early arrival was necessary to prevent late coming, which could disrupt the exercise. Now to foreign news. Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a temporary ceasefire in the war in Ukraine. The Kremlin has said the ceasefire will run from the morning of May 8 until the 11th of May, which coincides with victory celebrations to mark the end of World War II. In a statement, it said Putin declared the ceasefire based on humanitarian considerations. Ukraine has not yet responded. The Kremlin announced a similar 30-hour truce over Easter, but while both sides reported a deep infighting, they accused each other of hundreds of violations. Ceasefires have been attempted more than 20 times in Ukraine. All of them failed eventually, and some within minutes of going into effect. In our sports, the Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida Golf Club, Abuja, has unveiled a 10-member interim management committee with Peter Deshi as chairman and Yomi Oyelola as secretary. According to a statement released by Senior Special Assistant on Public Communications and Social Media to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike Liri Olainka, the committee has been directed to commence work immediately. The interim management committee will function under the supervision of the Board of Trustees, led by the President of the Court of Appeal, Monica Dongban Mensem. The statement noted that Wike had emphasized the FCT administration's commitment to restoring order and efficiency to the prestigious club, which has recently experienced internal challenges. The FCT minister also clarified the ownership status of the club, reiterating that it remained the property of the Federal Capital Territory Administration. The IBB Golf Club, located in the heart of Abuja, is one of Nigeria's most prestigious golf facilities and has played host to numerous high-profile tournaments over the years. And that's all for the news at 4. Stay alive. Make use of pedestrian bridges where available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. On YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that under the Sanwo-Olu administration, 280 youths were trained in solar farm construction? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government's website. To end the news are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State government has removed not less than 1,141 contraventions in the last year to restore drainage rights of ways across the state as part of its commitment to ensure a flood-free Lagos. The Enugu caucus in the House of Representatives has thrown its weight behind the federal government's plan to concession the Akan Usen International Airport, Enugu, describing it as a potential catalyst for the Southeast economy. He also told you that Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a temporary ceasefire in the war in Ukraine. And in sport, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida Golf Club, Abuja, has unveiled a 10-member interim management committee with Peter Deshi as chairman and Yomi Oyelola as secretary. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Kayode Mafolashiri. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.